For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone as we talk a little Wildcat women's hoops here with head coach Julie Goodenough. Her team is 9-6, getting ready for Southland Conference play. Coach, you really had a strong finish to 2013, the calendar year, with the big wins over Jacksonville and then that epic win against Texas Tech. You came back on Saturday and played a very good and hot, by the way, a UT San Antonio team, and you lost narrowly there. So as you get ready for conference play, where do you feel like your team is?
I'm really I'm pleased with where we are right now. I'd like to see us not repeat mistakes, and I think that in our game on against UTSA, it was a great, hard-fought battle, but we continued to make some of the same mistakes through the second half. We did play a really hot UTSA team. They've really learned how to finish games strong as a team. We finished the 2013 segment of our season, I think, really understanding how important rebounding was, and I think we forgot how important that was a little bit down the stretch in the UT San Antonio game. But I'm really pleased with our team, and we've got so many new players in our program this year that are learning a brand new system, and some games it just doesn't all make sense to them, I think, and that just comes with some youth and inexperience. But gosh, we're playing really hard. They're trying to be coachable, playing together as a team. What they need to understand, I think, through the stretch of conference play now is how important every single possession is. It's not okay to turn the ball over here and there and, be okay with that. I mean, if we make a mistake, we need to immediately, the next possession, try to make up for that mistake. And so we'd like to see that growth a little bit on the court. But, gosh, it's been a really fun year so far, and we're excited about the conference schedule coming up.
You've been at this now. This is your 20th year as a head coach. By this point, you've had, 15 games. You're playing a lot of freshmen. You have no choice but to play a lot of freshmen because of the way your roster is built. Can we use that old adage, they're not freshmen anymore, at this point?
Oh, yeah.
15 games in?
Yeah, probably about November 25th we started telling them that, hey, you're not a freshman. But, yeah, I mean, they have a good, solid semester under their belt. They've all had playing time at the Division I level. Some of them are starting for us, and they're playing, a lot of minutes, more so than any other freshman in the country. And so, yeah, I mean, we can't use it as an excuse because they're getting more experience than a lot of upperclassmen are around the country. So, but just that game time on the floor, playing in actual games, they're still gathering that. Yeah, they're expected to play as sophomores or juniors.
9 wins for your team. That still is most of anyone in the Southland Conference. You get New Orleans and Southeastern Louisiana, a couple of teams that are struggling, at least so far, and yet you have to go on the road. And anytime you go on the road in Division I, as you know, having coached so many years on the Division I level, that's not going to be an easy task, no matter what the records are, I would imagine.
Right, and that's one thing we've talked about with our team. It's different on the road than at home. You sleep in a hotel, you eat in restaurants maybe you're not familiar with, you're playing in someone else's gym where they practice every single day, and so I think that's when the margin of error gets a little bit smaller, and you can't have careless turnovers, you can't miss blockouts on someone else's court. This will be our first trip to fly, and so we'll see how our players respond to that. Every year I've ever coached, there's always one person, it's their first flight ever. And so I haven't asked our players about that, but we'll see who's going on their first flight ever on this trip. And that's mentally, that's kind of a challenge sometimes too. But it'll be interesting just to see how we respond to, flying somewhere and playing 2 back-to-back games on the road.
Last thing, you always take your team to church with you on the first Sunday of the new year. How was that experience?
It was great. We belong to Pioneer Drive Baptist Church, and so our team all visited church, and they introduced us in the service. It was really nice. We felt really welcomed in the church service. But our pastor, Pastor Alcorn, he was awesome. I mean, great challenge going into the new year. So hopefully our players were really listening and embracing what he said. So it was a great time for our team.
New year and a new era. Southland Conference play begins on Thursday night at 5:30 tip at University of New Orleans. For Julie Goodenough, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.